Alright, so as you could probably tell, I got a whole bunch of crap around here. There's one item of crap in particular that I want to look at today, and several days afterwards apparently. And this is the Just Plug and Play, which is a plug and play system. As you could probably tell, it's plugged to my DVD-R, so I could, and 3 AAA, AA batteries, and it's got a digital D-pad, autofocus fail. It's got an analog stick, autofocus fail, reset button, start button, A, B button, turbo button, and that's about it. It has a switch to turn the thing on and off, like so. And this contains 120 games. Kinda. Sorta. Now, this looks vaguely familiar for those of you, as it kind of resembles the Dream Gear Plug and Play 50-in-1 thing, which I did a bit of an overview, this past Christmas. However, unlike this thing, which has 50 generic public domain-ish non-copyrighted games, this has kinda, sorta, 120 altered versions of existing games, such as Contra and stuff. And we're going to be looking through some of these games. Not all of them, because it's not worth it, but some of these games. And we're going to be looking them one by one. It might take several videos, but god damn it, we're going to go through these games like a pig goes through Nevermind. Anyways, let's get on with it.
Now, to just get this right off the bat, here's the menu and the wonderful soothing music, so to speak. There's a few repeating games in here, so to save up on time and not bear through monotony and whatnot, I'm going to be skipping over a number of games, and I will be listing the games that, I'll show you the game first time around. There's actually, they do try different tricks to fool you into think that there's multiple games when in fact it's the same game. Here's a good example. This is the one game that gets recycled over and over again, and I'll give you a good hint as to what it is. Yeah, this is Super C, or Super Contra, for the Famicom, NES, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, it looks like really different from what it looks like originally. You start off with the spreader, and other than that, it's Super C. You start off with the spreader, you start off with 50 lives, but aside from that, it's the same old game. The only difference is that you don't have 2-player capability, because it's only one controller, which is a bit of a tease. Now, this is a game that this device likes to recycle. Basically, what they do is that they take the game, they split the 8 levels up, and voila, 8 different games right off the bat, which is a bit of a piss off. But on the other hand, there's also a level select right off the bat that you can change the level around, which defeats the whole purpose of having separate games. Anyways, that's Super C. It's pretty much the same game you've played before, except it looks different. They replaced it with generic looking characters, and some of the music has been changed around, obviously, and stuff. So yeah, next game. So what's the next game on the list? Number 2, Street War presents. They scratched out the Capcom logo. I'm wondering what this is. Street War! It looks like Mighty Final Fight. I kind of like this. They changed the character graphics so that they're wearing strange hats and masks, but they don't change the names. And now all of a sudden I'm regretting picking Guy, because he has this strange Chun-Li rapid fire attack that does very little damage. Anyways, it's Mighty Final Fight, which, because Final Fight wasn't good enough for Nintendo, or Nintendo wasn't good enough for Final Fight, so they gave the console Mighty Final Fight, which is sort of a chibi-fied version of Final Fight. Not a bad game in its own right, but, they did a poor job in trying to disguise all these guys. Next game. Alright, so what we got here? Space War. Actually, this game looks vaguely familiar. Recall having seen this before. Space War, or is it Gunak? I believe it's Gunak. It is indeed Gunak. Fail, you didn't change the original title in the options screen. Look, mommy, I made it to the final level of the game! Because it has stage select in the options menu. This is actually not that bad of a game. Nice little shooter, you got a bunch of power-ups, blow shit up. I like that sort of game. Anyways, I'm getting too involved in this. I better quit while I'm ahead. Next. So, next game we got is a 100-meter run, otherwise known as track and field. Yeah, this is another game that they split into 8 different games. And the sad thing is they didn't change any of the graphics. It still looks like Mario, skinny Marios all over the place. Yeah, I already reviewed this one. Just go check that instead. Next up we have Fruit. Fruit! Play! The whole goal of the game is to catch some fruit! Man, this is exciting stuff. Catching fruit! Yeah, I tried. I can't. I'm sorry. There's no way I can make this exciting. Basically, you go about catching fruit, and if you don't catch a certain number of fruit before time runs out, you lose. That's pretty much all it is. Your mutant penguin thing moves like a slug, and yeah. Anyways. Alright, I'm almost done here, and it's okay. Okay, we're done. Next. Next one, we got Aether Carvas. Sorry, Aether Cavas. And again, this seems remotely familiar. Oh, I know what this is. This is that Macross game that was on a couple of multi-carts that I have. Yeah, it is. They really screwed up the music, but yeah, that's the same game. You could fly around in a spaceship, or you could turn into a badass robot that could shoot in both directions. For the sake of this video, I just want to speed through the game, so I'm gonna not bother showing off the robot transformation sequence, because, quite frankly, it doesn't really matter. Very interesting here. Very interesting stuff. The game itself is not bad, but I don't care for the graphics. They didn't really change much of the graphics, to be honest with you. Anyways, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to invade a spaceship and you destroy the core, just like so. Seizure! Not a bad game. Next. How about some Bitha? Bitha's not so bad. We love Bitha. This looks like Puyon. Except the music is severely off tone. Yeah, it's Puyon. Really. Wow. Musical masters, these people are. Seriously. Oh, man. This is not gonna go over well, is it? Jesus. Alright, next. Next we have Russia. What's Russia? I'm wondering. It's some weird version of Tetris, maybe? That's what I'm gathering. Yeah, it's Tetris with bubbles. I'm guessing it's Tetris with bubbles with a really finicky rotate button. When you hold it, it rotates like several times. Oh. I wanted to fit that in there for Tetris, but instead I just want to clear a line to make sure that it's Tetris. Yeah, it's Tetris. Next! Next up we have Golfer. Gee, I wonder what this is. It is golf. With a clean-shaven Mario instead of, well, Mario. Well, it's golf. And golf is something I'm not good at. Let's move on. So up next we have Hoodle, number 10. Oh. It looks... Hey, this is Pinball. Significantly altered. There's some stuff missing here, actually. They changed some of the graphics, that's a given, but there's also some stuff missing. There's bumpers missing. And there's strange sound effects playing. Whoa. There's more strange sound effects playing. And there's no panels on the side, which means it's like a pit, 2 extra pits for your balls. Oof, almost made it over. Almost went over. That wouldn't be a good thing. But anyways, it's pinball except much harder because there's less stuff on there. I got some bumpers to save my ass. Probably not gonna need it because oops. Next. Alright, so we go to the next cage. World Cup. It sounds like soccer. It is soccer. Except with mutant rabbit things. Oh, might as well take the US. I don't know why, but it's soccer. If you played soccer for NES, like the early soccer game, and hey, a goal! That was easy. I don't have to show any more of the game. That's all there is to it. Next! Next up we have Conqueror, which is... That sounds like Circus Charlie. It is Circus Charlie, but they... Actually, you know what? This is probably the most impressive hack job they've done. Because they actually replaced everything. I always sort of... Instead of a line, you have a little... You're riding a little dolphin, or I guess a killer whale. Little killer whale. And you're jumping over crocs. And it really did, it's a nice hack job for the most part. But who wants to guess that they split this into 4 different games too? Goes without saying. Because there's I think there's like 4 or 5 different events in Circus Charlie. So no doubt they split this up into like 4 or 5 different games. And turned it into its own game. Next! Next game up we have Ladangle. Ladangel. Real-time action-adventure. No title. I guess so. Stop the express! And you throw knives. There's no sound for some reason, I don't know why. Oh, I died. That's... I guess I gotta hop over each gap between the cars if I want to progress. Okay, lesson learned. I'm not quite familiar with this game's original incarnation. That sort of explains why I don't recall this game's original incarnation, sadly enough. And... What? You're kidding, right? Ugh. Oh, I guess I gotta jump a little more... A little farther then. Okay. Anyways, throwing knives. And killing these bird things and stuff. Now there's purple clouds transforming into lightning bolts. Okay. And I run into the lightning bolt. Brilliant. Doesn't seem so bad, but I suck at it. Next, we have Mars Strike. It's actually Super C, except they start you in level 2, which is the overhead level. And you start off with a flamethrower. Unfortunately, the ripping to sort of like cause the fireballs to not show up, but you do shoot them. Anyways, next up we're playing F1 Race, which coincidentally enough is F1 Race for the Famicom. And F1 Race for the Famicom, what else can I tell you? This is a pretty popular one that they like the stuff on the multi-carts, but It's actually a pretty enjoyable racer for the most part. You know, if you're into, especially if you're like into the pole position and stuff. The only thing I don't care for is the graphical glitches on the side, but you know, whatever. It works, kinda, sorta. And yeah, that's it. That's F1 race. Next. Next up we have TNT. Gee, I wonder what this is. Wild guess. Yeah, Bomberman. The first one. The one that I don't particularly care for. And of course they changed up the graphics. It's kind of a nice touch though. They used the Load Runner character in place of the Bomberman character. That's kind of nice. It's the first one in the series, but for the most part I don't care for this one. Personally I prefer the sequels, but this is another one that they like to reuse every so often and, you know, pretend and just change up the graphics at least, if nothing else. I only think they only reused this a couple times at most. But in any case, I had enough. Let's move on to the next game. Mars. Mars. And it vaguely sounds like Star Force. Yeah, it's Star Force. Except with jellyfish things. And no surface graphics. There's no space islands or anything like that. It's just random stuff that you shoot in the air. You're blowing stuff up. There's no craters to be left behind. It's Star Force for the most part. It's a pretty competent shooter in its own right, but feels really naked. Anyways. Next up is Sea War. 1 Solomon Battle, 2 Solomon Double, 3 River Duel. Ooh. I know this. This is not Siva, this is Battle City. Except instead of playing with tanks, you're playing with subs, I guess. Subs are battleships. More like subs. And I died. That's brilliant. This is another one that they like to stuff onto the multi-carts. And in this context, it's another one that they like to reuse. The same exact game and they start off at different levels. Not a bad game, but not one that I want to repeat every so often. So next up we have Arcanoid. More like Arcanoid. And I'm not gonna like this one, am I? Because I don't have a paddle controller. I'm stuck with this digital D-pad mess. Which I can't play the game properly with, to be honest with you. I have to have a paddle controller or a mouse controller. It's a bit of a nice touch to what they did here, though. Rather than have capsules with different letters, you have different items for the various power-ups. And I die. Next. Next up we have Coin. Coin being aka Jewel Master? Jewel Master 2, Jewel Master, I don't recall what Jewel Master they call it. It's the Columns ripoff, let's go with that. It's basically Columns. A pirated version of Columns, and that's what it is. So, yeah. They like to stick this on multi-carts every so often. And, yeah, it's Columns. Not really much to say on that. The music's kind of annoying, but other than that, it's Columns. And I screwed up. Nice. Next up we have Air Umbrella, which is Balloon Fight. I like how they kept the balloon trip rather than call it umbrella trip. I guess umbrella is too many letters for the text. But yeah, instead of balloons, you're using umbrellas, which I guess works. And UFOs instead of clouds. You're still popping bubbles at least. That's a good thing. Yeah, but Balloon Fight's a pretty good game for the most part. Very Joust-like. It's Antarctic Adventure! It's Antarctic Adventure. What more do you want? Yeah. This is actually quite pleasing, actually. Oops. It's actually rather nice and pleasing. Amazing that they didn't actually change anything. They just... And I don't think they even touched anything up here. It's the same music. They didn't crap on that. The graphics are all the same. It's still a little penguin. They didn't give him a funny hat or anything like that. And I keep bumping into these seals, which is sad. Now I have a little propeller on my head. That's kind of nice. Should probably note, since I didn't mention it before, that the A and B buttons are reversed. As you could probably tell from the live shot, but they really are reversed. But in any case, that's Australian Adventure. Antarctic Adventure. Alright, next up we got Arabai, where I collect letters and stuff. But they call it Arabai, but they changed the guy into someone who is not Arabai. Which is... Also, I'm sorry, but... See, that's how I have to kick every single time to remind myself that B is hit, is attack, and A is jump. The sad thing being that their buttons are the other way around. Track and field, long jump. It's track and field. Next! Bird week. Basically, it's a bird week. You fly a bird. You catch butterflies to feed your birds, who look like a horrible purplish color. Okay. Feed another bird. I guess you gotta avoid that bird. I fed the bird. Ah, there's an apple on the floor. So I gotta wait till they're hungry, or what? There we are. Feed them this apple. That'll keep them happy. No, it won't. They don't want an apple. They want... Eat the apple. I honestly don't get this game. So the bird flies away and I gotta feed the other bird now. Okay, well, I'm not gonna do that. Next up we have... Bomb. Right, it's this game. How do I play this game? I don't know. In a way, I probably shouldn't care. Oh, man. What am I doing? I don't know. What the frick am I doing? So I guess I gotta clear those eggs with my bombs, but the bombs keep falling to the ground. Wait, is that it? Oh, that was a close call. Oh, seriously, what am I supposed to do? Die. Good enough for me. Alright, next game. Bombjack. Except it's not Bombjack, it's... Actually, this is Mighty Bombjack. Except it's not Bombjack, it's... some red thing. But it is Bombjack, Mighty Bombjack. Which is... not Bombjack. Oh, it's been a while since I played this. Not a bad game, actually. You know, you jump around, you collect bombs, and then you do stuff. That's about it. If it were a proper Mighty Bombjack, I'd probably like it more. But it's not. It's some red thing. And then at the end of every level, it's sort of like the original arcade Bombjack. Bombjack-ass, more like. Oh, I want to collect the hearts for bonus points. Points that don't matter in this game. And I don't mean that they don't matter in the game. I mean they don't matter in this game because I'm skipping it. Final fight. Bullshit. It's actually another Super C level. Super C. Area 3. And more of the same. Ah, so I'm fighting a boss now? And I got a machine gun. Where's my fucking spreader? Seriously. No. Next up we have the circus. And this is Circus Charlie. Circus Charlie. My favorite game. And I didn't even bother. They didn't bother. And you know what? Neither am I. I mean, seriously, you changed the graphics for the other one, and you didn't change the graphics for that. Yeah. Which one's this? Ah, Clue Clue Land. Except that it's an obnoxious color. It was an obnoxious color. Basically, you have to uncover the rupees on the playfield. And stuff. It's one of the earlier NES launch titles, and I died. Brilliant. I'll be honest with you. I don't really get this one, and quite honestly, it's not my cup of tea. Maybe if I spent more time on it, but then again, it's time I'd rather be spending doing something else. I'm sure this game's alright, and I'm sure it has its fans, but not for me. So, yeah. In any case, it's a heart. So, we're gonna move on to the next game, which is, There was a raid on Burgundy Bay, or whatever it was called. It was a... No, it's like, I don't recall the name of the game, but it's a game where you're fighting helicopters. You're in a helicopter, you're supposed to bomb factories. But the problem is I never figured out how to bomb back factories. You know, maybe I'm just stupid, but I don't know. So in the meantime, you could just watch me fly around aimlessly, trying to destroy anything. Trying to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do. Ah, I blew something up. That's a good thing. So I'm guessing that's a factory I gotta blow up. And, maybe? Guess not. Bomb. 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 Next. Honestly, I don't get that game. Oh boy, it's another sub-battle city. On another level. Why am I playing this? Boom. Game over. Next. Oh, man. Energy. Load Runner. Of course. Yeah, instead of Load Runner, you have Ninja Chipmunk, I guess. And, oh, crap. And this is one of the games where the controls are really gonna kick your ass, because the buttons are flipped around. So, you know, B is left, A is right, but it's flipped around here, and that fucked me up and I died. Next. And I'm not a huge fan of Load Runner on the NES to begin with, so... So, Crypt Car, Dig Dug. Dig Dug on the NES. The original Dig Dug never made it to the... That was sad. That was sad to sit through. Right. So instead of a bicycle pump, you have projectiles. And, it's just not the same. Anyways, that's it. All the while we're playing this horrible rendition of the Popeye theme. How do I know it's the Popeye theme? Because I recognize this game already. And so instead of Popeye, it's a pig, and instead of Olive Oil, it's a penguin. Instead of Brutus, it's... Actually, I think it still is Brutus. Just with bad hair. But So anyways, you've never played Popeye before. It's a old Nintendo arcade game that was later converted to various consoles, including the NES, was it ColecoVision? I don't remember. Anyways, I'm wondering what happens if I get the spinach. Nice. They tweaked the titles. They turned the title music into something awful, but they don't bother changing the Popeye theme. Yeah. Next. So now what else we got here? Red March. Red March is... yeah. No. Seriously. No. Door Door. Door Door. Basically, you have to guide everybody into a door, as I'm going to demonstrate in this first level. We open the door, the bad guy goes in the door, we close the door, and the level is clear. That's all I have to do, really. Next up, we have Dragon. What's Dragon, you ask? Dragon, otherwise known as Snake. Basically, you guide the dragon to the little bulge, and you get the bulge. And each time you get the bulge, your dragon gets longer. And to clear the stage, you have to get all the balls that are on the counter. It's a pretty fun, casual game for the most part, but quite frankly, this one's a little too slow for my tastes. Way too slow. Anyways, moving along, we have Earthguard. Probably some kind of shooter. Although all things considered, you know, they've actually had their variety of shooters. So anyways, it's a horizontal scrolling shooter. I could shoot forward and I could throw bombs. Pretty much, not that... It looks pretty fun for the most part. I can try and board the ship for more power. And, basically, I guess that's pretty much what I gotta do, is gotta make sure... I guess when I kill enemies, I get back more power, and I gotta make sure that power meter doesn't go down to empty, or else I die, or something. Well, it's a pretty fun shooter. You know, for the most part, it's not that bad. You know, first impressions, you know, playing a couple minutes worth, you know, certainly catches my eye. I'm certainly getting into this. Probably getting too into this, I suppose. Yeah, better move on. It's a pretty fun game though. Hurdles, we're not gonna... It's hurdles. Yeah. Next. Okay, where was I? Right, rope game. Of course, it's another Circus Charlie stage turned into... Wait, this isn't a rope? I'm riding spiked balls and I missed. Should I continue? Yeah, why not? Okay, you know what? Screw it. We're not going... Let's move on. Okay, moving on, we have Format Z, which sounds like Formation Z. It is Formation Z, except the sky's black. And, yeah. Anyways, you play a guy who could turn himself into a plane. And, okay, power up. It's been a while since I last played this, and, I died. Because I forgot to jump over the mine. Ah, man, this is gonna be interesting, if nothing else. Oh, I died. Well, it certainly saved me time of having to play further, but Formation Z, it's a shooter. It's usually a... Yeah, gee, I wonder what stage this is gonna be. It's the same crap all over again. Next. You see what I mean about them reusing the same game over and over again, but starting at different levels to make it appear like it's different games? Yeah. Next up we have the worst opening jingle to a video game ever. I've heard Atari games that sounded better than this, but basically this is genius chess. You put pieces there and you turn them into different colors. It's as interesting as it sounds. Well, I guess somebody could find some enjoyment out of this, but It's not my cup of tea, and yeah. Alright, moving on. After genius checks, we have hassle. Actually, this is more like front line. Title arcade classic, except instead of soldiers, we have little fox things. Fox things that just killed me. Beautiful. Anyways. Excuse me. I just killed the illusion. I just killed the illusion anyways. But yeah, this is front line with foxes and or are they wolves? Whatever. Anyways. Generally fun game. You could eventually you can ride tanks and stuff like that. The only thing I don't like is that, you know, your guy, you know, shoots on the right side and only shoots on the left when you're moving towards the left. It's kind of annoying, at least for me anyways. Give me Super Joe any day, but the game's alright, I suppose. Javelin throw. Bite me. No. Really, if you really are curious about the track and field stuff, I have a review up. You could check that there. That'll tell you everything you need to know. Or wait till I eventually get the redone version. Anyways, this is Year Kung Fu. The only thing that's changed is the colors. And that's about it. Anyways, I'm kicking Wang's head. Because I figure, why not? Strangely enough, you know, the meter turned green when he's close to death. Normally it's supposed to turn reddish or pink. A reddish pink color. But anyways. Next up we have Lunar Bar. Or as we know it in North American soils, Lunar Pool. Basically, it's pool. Sir, you play it like you would pool. It's a standard table, because I'd rather just go nice and quick. And hopefully this will be nice and quick, but it's pool. It's a pretty standard game of pool. You know, and as you progress, you get all kinds of weird tables. So it's an interesting spin on the pool concept. Plays pretty well. You know, would have been nice to get one ball in at least, so I got that much done. So whatever happens now, well, that didn't last long, did it? So, anyways, next up we have what do we have? Marsman. Oh, it's the Penguin game. Was it the Penguin game? Yeah, I think it was you originally you were controlling two penguins. And you had to unite them together because they were falling in love or something. I guess, or something, I suppose. Anyways, that's all you really have to do. There's different mazes and stuff like that. Not my cup of tea, but, you know, it's playable. It works. It's not a bad game or anything like that. Anyways, after Marsman we have Maze. And, wow. It's Pac-Man. What's funny is that they don't bother changing the sound effect so that it at least sounds somewhat different. And all they do is just mangle the music. It's not Pac-Man, there's no Pac-Man sound effects here. You know, they could have done that, but instead they just changed the graphics and the music. And you know, not that it really matters, but yeah, it's Pac-Man. I don't need to go further than this. Let's just move on. Alright, so next game we have is Monster. AKA Sunson. How do I know it's Sunson? Because it says so on the top of the screen. I mean, seriously. Wow. Let's go Tenjiku. Good luck. And, yeah, Monster. Sunson. Do not recall if there was an NES release. Because this is the Famicom version. And I died. And I died again. Wow. I usually don't do this badly this soon in Sunson because I have this on one of my multi-carts. But basically, you just move around this scrolling level and you shoot stuff, and a bunch of crap shows up on screen and you know, tries to obstruct your path, try to kill you. I don't know if this was available on the NES locally, but I do know it's on the Capcom Classics collection, the arcade version, I mean. So... was this on the Virtual Console? I don't recall, I don't know. But, certainly what's really hurting this version, though, is the slowdown. But other than that... oh, I got an extra life. Probably not going to need it because I'm going to be quitting it right away, actually. It's a fun game. I'm getting too into it. Let's just move on before I take more time than I need to. Anyways, Panzer Car. This is interesting. Of course, what is this? It's Road Fighter with changed graphics. Yeah. This is not a bad game. I'm pretty shit at it for most of the time, but it's not such a bad game. You just gotta move past the cars, and on occasion you pick up fuel pickups to refuel, and I crash. That was entirely my fault, sorry. Anyways, every time you crash you lose several points on your fuel gauge, and about 5 points, and that's all you really do. I almost missed that fuel tank, and I tried to brake. I tried to shoot it out, but I evaded that one. The red ones you have to avoid because they will try to crash right into you. That was a close call. Probably wasn't worth getting the fuel tank after all, but anyways, that was a fail. That was a fail on my part, sorry. And well, I'm never gonna make it now, am I? Christ. No, not gonna make it. Empty. Well, next. What do we have next? Where are we? Ground attack. Ground attack. What? Penguin. I almost skipped the penguin. Doesn't look anything like a thing. Anyways, I don't get this one actually. Anyways, you can apparently fly, and dogs are your enemies for some reason. And I died. Brilliant. What did you do to piss off these dogs, little thing? And yeah, that again. The dog kicked my ass. I'll be honest with you, I'm not actually trying all that hard. But, anyways, yeah, my mutant penguin thing, whatever it's supposed to be, a mutant platypus, I guess, flying over the little houses. And so I guess I move from left to right, I guess, like a usual platformer. And, oh, sometimes I could fly, sometimes I can't. I guess I gotta eat this food stuff. And where did my... oh. Anyways, just out of curiosity, ground attack. Of course. What better way to end part 3 than with another Super C choice? Bollocks. Just move up and stuff, and it's the same game. Okay, so where were we? Anyways, next up we got Rescue Cook. It sounds like Donkey Kong Jr. Why, it is Donkey Kong Jr., except it's a horrible pink and purple color scheme. And instead of Jr., we're controlling some teenage mutant ninja chipmunk or something. It's certainly a mutant chipmunk. Don't know if it's supposed to be a ninja. I'm guessing it is because it has the little ninja mask. And yeah, anyways, it's Donkey Kong Jr., except it's a horrible color scheme. You're trying to save some A blackface caveman. This is sort of racist. I'm gonna leave now. Okay, what do we have here? S-Move War. 1 Solomon Battle. 2 Solomon Battle. No thank you. They like to recycle that game quite a bit, don't they? It's another track and field game. No thanks. I did a review of that thing. I did 2 of them. Enough. Sky Invader. Sounds like Sky Destroyer, I think that game is. Yeah, it's Sky Destroyer. I think that was his name. They sort of changed the planes. They turned the sky from blue to black with pink clouds. But aside from that, it's the classic Famicom game that nobody's ever played because unless you lived in Japan or happened to own one of those multi-card things, because this tends to be a popular game to stick on one of those multi-cards, especially the ones with like 500 games on them. Yeah, it's sort of like an afterburner type, behind the plane view thing. Except it's not particularly exciting for the most part, but give it some credit. They did try stuff with perspective. It's a pretty decent effort for the most part. But I'm gonna quit now because, yeah, I like that. Anyways, next up we have Slalom 2008 ski. Good lucky for you. The bad anyways, it's a skiing game. Skiing game by Rare. Practically unaltered for the most part, except for the lack of title and that good lucky for you. The typos have stolen my inability to read and play properly, apparently. Anyways, just go through this. It's a pretty standard skiing game for the most part. I could actually get into this, actually. I'm not a big fan of skiing games or sports games in general, but this is a game I could get into, actually. It's a pretty fun game. I keep running into skiers. That's nice. And then we got the trees, pine trees. I was about to say Christmas trees, but I might offend somebody. Yay, we finished, and my Bonum's a horrible little color. Yeah. Next. Who do we have now? I don't know what was Small Lucky. Small Lucky. Well, it's got a title screen that's good. It's some kind of gambling game. And, I've had enough. If it was for real money, probably. Bandits. Donkey Kong 3. Jesus! What's with the horrible color schemes? No, seriously. What's with the horrible color schemes? Isn't it enough that you're changing the graphics? Anyways, it's Donkey Kong 3. And for those of you who've never played Donkey Kong 3, you normally play Stanley the Birdman, or Stanley the Bugman, and you're supposed to spray Donkey Kong up the ass with bug spray to get him out of the greenhouse. But instead now you've got, and instead of, you should have hired Stan the Bugman then. I'm sorry. Next game. Beat Balloon. We destroyed the balloon. But it is actually Space Invaders. Instead, it's... Except, yeah, it's Space Invaders, but with balloons instead of... Space Invaders for the Famicom. Don't believe there was ever an NES version. We're not going to dwell on that. Space War. Exeter, I believe it is. This game's not going to last long because it's already been. I've already done this in another. This was another game they like to stick on the multi-cards quite a bit. Either have a double shot or a single shot. And I died. Like I told you it wasn't going to last that long, but it's a pretty good game for the most part. Anyways, let's keep going. Spar. Sounds like urban... Oh. Christ. It's... Park Champion, I guess, with mutant pigs. Above legal age mutant ninja pig. Well, I guess they're not ninjas. They're out in the open. Anyways, it's Urban Champion. I'm bored. The color, it's all the same graphics and stuff. Whatever. Anyway, excuse me. Triple jump. Track and field again. Bite me. Next. Future tank. Future tank. Just out of curiosity, I just want to see what it looks like. It looks like futuristic Battle City. Okay, I'm gonna skip over this because we've already played this before. Wait, are those? Did they just recycle the sub sprites from the submarine game? Yeah, I think they did, didn't they? Oh well. Anyways, next up we have, what's the next game? Please enlighten me. Tennis. Instead of Mario, we have Master Higgins. Two of them actually, and you got some weird cave boy overseeing the game. Yeah, as you could probably tell, I suck at tennis. No, well, let's try to make the most of it. You know, it can't be all that bad. You know, maybe we'll get lucky. And, I'm actually doing pretty good despite the fuck-up early on. Yeah. Bite me! Yeah! I'm the king, man! I'm the king! And the king is tennis! Okay, I'm not the king. Alright. Done. Next. UFO Road. UFO Road. Please select. How do I select? It sounds like F1 race. It is F1 race. Yeah, it's seizure. It's a seizure-inducing. Oh man, the seizure's massive. I don't know how that's going to translate on the, it's probably not going to translate all that well on the YouTube screen, but, the flickering on this is absolutely, oh man. If you're prone to seizures, and that's the incredible explosion. Anyways, we're going to quit this because it's F1 race. We've already played this. It's the same game. Alright, so next up we have, I didn't even catch the name of that. AV weapon, UU weapon, UV weapon, and whatever. Anyways, you control some guy, you have to collect items, and you kill ninjas with your ninja stars. I can't grab this item, why not? Anyways, now I got a spear weapon. I don't recall the actual name of this game. All I know is I've seen it in a bunch of multi-carts. Anyways. You kill all the ninjas, you go around this field, you collect all the egg items, I guess. And you could go all over the field, because apparently there's no walls or anything like that, or anything to hold you back. And then the guy's happy because I cleared the level. Secret letter E. I clearly don't get that. Anyways, looked like a fun game, but we're gonna move on to the next one. Waterfall... Ugh. It's another Contra game! Hooray! It's stage 6 of Contra, except instead of being a horrible gray color, it's a horrible green color. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, next. It's an annoying trait that they have here. Super Bowl. Yeah, it takes place in high school. Is it 10-yard run, this game? It's the earliest NES baseball game. Or NES baseball game. I'm an idiot. NES football game. Well, it doesn't really matter because I'm not a big fan of it. So, I'm not going to play all that long. Which is good. If games I'm not a big fan of, I'll usually just skip over rather quickly. So now we got Air Tiger, otherwise known as 1942, except the plane's a different color. And, I'm sure if all the planes are white actually. That's kind of interesting choice. But yeah, if you've played 1942 for Nintendo, you've pretty much played this. That's pretty much the same game. They just did a couple of palette changes. The water's a little darker. It's got horrible sound effects. Well, they sound horrible on the NES, not so much on the arcade game. I don't actually remember the arcade game. I have to pull out that Capcom Classics Collection set again just to remind myself, and I crashed in there on purpose because I want to end it soon. Yeah, 1942, pretty good game, but sort of pales in comparison to its sequels. Next up we have Galaxian, and it has funny colored text. And it's Galaxian. It's Galaxian. I don't know what else you want me to tell you. It's Galaxian. Same game you played in the arcades. Same game you played on the Famicom. Same thing. Anyways, I'm just gonna see if I could clear through this first wave. Anyways, oh wait, don't wave through. Oh, only 300 points. Actually, the fact that this is unaltered Galaxian makes it probably the best game of the pack so far. Although personally, I'm more of a Galaga guy. Gameplay's a lot faster, but Galaxian, you could do good with that. Okay, next up, what do we have? Baseball. Baseball, the launch title, NES Baseball. Not a big fan of this game. Not a big fan of it when it was on Nintendo. Not a big fan of it when it was on the Famicom Multicart. Not a big fan of it here. Oh, I seem to be doing rather well. But, I don't want to give this game more playtime than necessary, so we're going to move on to archery. Oh, again, good luck. No thanks. Moving on to the next game. Brush. Brush. You have to paint the whole playfield a different shade of brown. And my brush melted. Yeah. This is exciting. No, seriously. And I melted again. Amazing. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that game, to be honest with you. Magic Block. Or For a second there, I thought it was Tetris, but it's actually some variation of columns. Anyways, am I supposed to land on these? Oh, I get it. You see, the hearts sort of clear out all blocks of the same color, or is it a wild card block? Anyways, it's columns. Moving on. And now next game we have here is Rugged Race. Gee, I wonder what this is going to be. Looks like Road Fighter. It is Road Fighter. See? Road Fighter. Which means the gameplay is going to be painful, excruciatingly hard to watch, and oh, well, I actually survived that. Didn't survive that! I told it was just gonna be painful to sit through. Yeah, it's a pretty decent game for the most part, but the gameplay's another story. Alright, moving on. We have, what do we have here? Where was I? Watch Base. Oh. No. No. They keep reusing that game every single time! Here's a game they don't reuse. Ice Hockey. Which they call Winter Games here for some reason, but it's just Ice Hockey. It's pretty much the same game. Almost pretty much the same game, actually. I don't recall if there's any color changes, but it's pretty much the same game. The only thing that it's not there is probably the Nintendo blurb that will come about. But anyways, Ice hockey is a pretty fun game. For the most part, you could choose from a team of skinny guys, fat guys, or middle-of-the-road guys, each with different strengths and weaknesses. Pretty fun game for the most part, but I'm going to wait until somebody scores a goal, and I don't care who. I'm doing pretty good for myself. Usually I pretty much let the first goal in. Oh, that didn't take long, did it? Alright, next game. Was waiting for that. Birmingham 16 Top Gear Drive. Is this a racer? It's a kind of a card game. Well, it's kind of a nice card game. Nice card game that I already died in. That's beautiful. For a little dot, there's a nice rate of explosion. Anyways, you drive this car, you have to go to these different quadrants. I kind of like that effect though. When you enter and leave a quadrant, it has the zooming effect. So now you're navigating this maze thing. Nice structure. I don't know what the actual name of this game is though. But it's a pretty fun game. With the... Well, I don't want to say it's pretty fun. I've only played this for like 5 seconds so far. Barely a minute. Okay, I can't get out there. It's the boundary, but yeah, it's a nice concept though. I like the technical aspects of it. Nice evasion bit. Okay, so I guess I gotta collect these items here or something. It's like a basic collection game, and I exploded. I guess I wasn't supposed to do that. Oop. Oh well, okay, so anyways, Bokusugar Wars! I'm pretty sure this came about already. Anyways. Guess not. Anyways, anyways, I have no idea what to do. Anyways, I'm trying to select guys. Anyways, my guy's moving forward. Kinds of flickers. Nothing's happening, so I just walk in a forest, I guess, or... I guess, something... Is something... Oh, I got enemies. How do I fight? That's how I fight. Wow, you lose. Well, would have helped if I knew how to play the game. Unfortunately, the thing doesn't come with instructions, so... Oh, well, well, we figured you had to get to the Super Mario knockoff eventually. And here we are. Outside of the level and the gameplay and the sound effects, I guess, some of the sound effects, everything's pretty much changed. They changed the graphics, so it doesn't even look like Mario. You're playing as a panda dog or something. And, yeah. But yeah, this is pretty much Super Mario, except it's got an annoying tune. Really annoying tune. Annoying tune that plays even when you collect the star, which normally has another tune playing. Anyways, there's not much to this. It's just Mario. Think I'm gonna play through this? Forget it. Not with this controller. No. It's Mario. What more you want? Next. So, anyways, what do we got here? Panda Mario. Something Bubble Wars. It's that game with the, don't recall the actual name. You toss balls. Yeah, the whole idea is to get all the balls on your opponent's side and you win. And sometimes you can hit them and stun them so that they don't shoot any of the balls back. It's pretty fun to play with a second player, but since I can't play with a second player, I guess I'm going to be playing with the computer. Which is a bit of a heartbreaker, but anyways. Anyways, I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible. Come on! If you keep smacking him... Oh, Christ. Nice. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Now he's going to throw everything back at you. There's a kind of a strategy. Would have been nice if I could shoot diagonally, but they only let you do that towards the end of the round. Or I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Oh wait, now you see, now I can shoot diagonally, but for the most part, yeah, I'm only able to shoot, and I'm gonna lose, am I? almost the end of the round, but anyways, I win this round because I have less balls than he does. So yeah, I got a set, and I got a gear. Anyways, moving on to the next game. So we got high jump. Wait. Anyways, wait. Oh, never mind. Wars. Volleyball. It's volleyball. I don't know what I took. I just went. Ooh, I like that. 1987 Nintendo. As if Nintendo had anything to do with this. It's volleyball. I don't know what else to tell you. Other than the fact that I'm not very good at this. And I'm probably being very, very nice in that regard. Anyways. We'll keep going. Yeah. Bees a suck. Why am I still playing this? I don't know. Let's just go now. Anyways, next up we have Arch Fight. Yeah, no. It's another Contra game. Or rather, it's the same Contra game, they just warped it to another level. X-Turk 2. X-Turk 2, what's this? That's another behind-the-view ship thing. And I'm probably... Oh, nice. I got bombs, I got cannons, and I got killed. Brilliant. This is gonna be painful, actually. And let's see if we can do this again, and I got killed again. I'm not very good at this, am I? Frantically trying to... Come on, let's go beyond 5 seconds of gameplay. I just want to break 2,000 points. Yes, we broke 2,000 points. And I'm dead. Well, looks like a fun game, but I'm clearly not any good at it. Anyways, moving on. Mach Rider. The year 2021. You are Mach Rider. One of the early launch titles of the Nintendo Entertainment System. Mach Rider has you riding a motorcycle, rather awkwardly for the most part. You have to avoid oil slicks, blow up enemy cars, and when you crash into stuff, you break apart and you reassemble, which is kind of a nice effect, but the gameplay itself is rather... I guess it's an acquired taste. Also, note the lines appearing on the side of the left side of the screen. I don't think that actually appears in the actual the original game. In any case, just gonna plow through this a little more, and yeah, it's okay for the most part, but not one of my favorites. Anyways, moving on to the next game, Ward Home. Yeah, no. I don't care if this is multiple videos. It's the same game. Total. What's this? Pew. I like that. Oh, I think I know what this game is. It's the game that I don't know the title of, but I know the idea. You basically shoot in a direction to propel yourself in the opposite direction. And you have to collect. I guess you have to collect all the things. I guess they're fishes or hot sauce, whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much all you have to do. You basically motion yourself by shooting your air gun. That causes you to move around a bit, and that's pretty much all to it. And you got another mutant chipmunk thing. This thing is obsessed with mutant chipmunks. Anyways, I guess you're gonna try to get that one last thing. I grabbed the bomb. Okay, so I'm supposed to either grab or destroy all the... Okay, whatever. Anyways, next game is... What's the next game? There we go. Spelunker. Spelunker is either a hidden gem or a crappy game, depending on your perspective. And that's probably the main reason why. So much as an inch of a drop off, you die instantly, which is a bit of a disappointment, but sure, once you get the hang of it, you know, it doesn't turn out to be that bad. Unfortunately, I never got around to getting the hang of it. It's not my cup of tea, but you got the little ghost there. The little ghost is gonna kill me. And of course, start back here. Not a favorite of mine, but I will endeavor to try my best, even though I probably shouldn't be trying my best right now. I should be trying to get through this game as quickly as humanly possible. So anyways, I need a bomb. Throw it away. And no. That's okay. Anyways, that was Spelunker. Let's move on to the next game. Dragon. We already played this game. Sorry about that. Combatta. It's a ninja. I don't remember the name. But there's no ninjas, and there's no annoying music. This is apparently based on an arcade game. And I died. Usually you play as a cute little ninja. No, you play as a less cute little... Well, it's little, but not necessarily cute. It's barely a ninja. Anyways, you go up and down this mountain, you clear the screen of enemies. Pretty standard fare. Try and get the power up. Or whatever it's supposed to be anyways. And I die. Okay, next game. Next game, what's on the next game? What's the next game? What's the next game? Another Circus Charlie game. But instead of Circus Charlie, we have Baby Bonk. Or whatever the hell we're supposed to call this. Yeah. It's trampoline. You're climbing a tightrope. It's a trampoline. You gotta tiptoe across the trampoline, and then you bounce off tight ropes. I guess you could bounce on tight ropes in some strange world, but that's not gonna happen here because I'm going to die. Anyways, Night Arrow. Normal. Infinite. Start with 5 lives. Start with 10 lives. Start with 1 life. Stay at 15. It is Galaxian, except they changed the graphics. Apparently it shoots a little faster too. I could be wrong, but it feels like the shots are faster. But we're not going to play that because we've already played this. It's called Galaxian. Long time. Okay, it's a nice little scrolling shooter, which is rather nice. You can move backwards too. And I died. Okay, I guess I'm not supposed to grab that. Okay, so just gonna keep going. Little annoying jingle plays in the background. And anyways, I'm gonna avoid those things. Back off. And have a fuel gauge. And then get the bomb stuff. That's always nice to have. Anyways, seems like a pretty fun little shooter. Nothing special, but without any instructions or any proper context, I probably wouldn't know. But in any case, next game. So we're near the final stretch of games to be played here on this video game system, and we got Mappy-ish. We don't have Mappy-ish. We have Death. Anyways, it's Map. If you ever played Map. You open doors, you collect all the household items before the other people steal it. It's Mappy without any of the good music or anything stuff. It's Mappy, but I'm gonna play through this whole game and stuff. No, the theme for Mappy is less mangled than the theme for well, anything else for in this thing. Well, not to be fair, you know, the Super C stuff is kind of the same. So, anyways, enough of this. We're done. Next game. So what do we have here? I guess it sort of grows on you. Destroy. Wow. Wrecking Crew in the future! And you're playing as Mario, who apparently dumped the coveralls and opened the door up, so they traps him in the alternate universe. It's called the background. So anyways, it's just Wrecking Crew. Except Mario is clean shaven. Or is it the same Mario? Who knows? Who cares? And okay, why isn't the level done? Oh, really? You can't be. Yeah. Apparently, despite the fact that the walls are half broken, apparently it still counts as a second hit. Lame. Graphics. Lame. Anyways, next up we have Aether, or as it's originally known as, Warpman. Except instead of Warpman, you fly a little ship. Not a bad game. Enemies show up in various points of the screen. You have to clear them all to move on to the next level. Sometimes these enemies carry letters. Pretty fun for the most part. I seem to be doing pretty far better than I have any right to do, actually. But, yeah, almost there. And, there we go. Next game. No. Flying Bomber. Flying Bomber.
Oh no! Joust! What have they done to you, Joust? These bastards! They took a childhood favorite and they ruined my childhood now!
Yeah, it's Joust, except instead of a ostrich, you have a cheap that doubles as a penguin, and flying skulls. But yeah, it's Joust, but it looks pretty bad, and I dread what they did with the rest of the game. Oh, that's nice. The flames are red, but the lava's purple. That's brilliant. Race. More Road Fighter, huh? Yep. Give them credit. They changed the background music. Anyways, let's see if we could find any other differences. But it's Road Fighter. It's starting to look like that other Dream Gear, where they take the one racing game and they just swap it 500 different times with different graphics. Although this has some variation. Okay, so anyways, if I crash another time, we'll call it quits. Okay, we're done. I'll give them some credit. They changed the music and there's actually some variety on the road. Not a whole lot, but. And of course we've got Mars Climber, or as it's normally known as, Ice Climber. The one with the Eskimos. But there are no Eskimos here, there are weird things. What is that thing? Where are the seals?
What have you done with my shears? How dare you replace the shears with abominable...
Oh. Never mind. Anyways. So it's pretty much Ice Climber. I'm not a big fan of Ice Climber. You know, the jumping's kind of awkward and stuff. But whatever. It's Ice Climber. Anyways, I'm gonna go through here. I'm going to collect all the fruit. I think it's fruit. Could be some alien seed from Mars, and you know what? Fuck it. Commit suicide. You know what? Even the crying animations isn't satisfying. But anyways, rope. Looks like another Circus Charlie game, and it is another Circus Charlie game. I believe I already played this one already, so we're not going to play it again. World Champ. Don't tell me it's another road fighter, right? Yep, it's another road fighter. This one with curves. Anyways, probably not going to do very good in this one. I'm barely able to do regular road fighter when it was a straight line. Anyways, I will endeavor to do my best. Maybe not. Okay, move on to the next game. This sounds like Load Runner. The Champion Edition? No, screw that. No, not gonna play that. X Racing. X Racing. It's another racing game. But unlike the Dream Gear one day, I at least endeavored to try to make it different. Okay, that's a bit of a lie, but... And I spin around. Well, I'm not trying to play properly anyway, so... Anyways... So how do I navigate? Oh, crap. Let's try again. So how do I... Ah, crap. Okay, so I guess, you know, once you reach a certain point, they stop, you know, trying to block you off. Let's see if I move out of the way. Yeah. See? Forward progress! I can learn something! Yeah, so it's pretty much a standard racing game. Go from beginning to end. And try to, you know, claim first place, I guess. It's a pretty... Actually, this isn't very exciting, to be honest with you. And I spin around, I lose. Anyways, next game. Last stretch, actually, so there's not much left to go. Scoon! Or some people might call it Spoon, because they can't read the cue from the thing! It's Scoon. It's a submarine game with rather cartoony graphics. And you could shoot downwards too, with a bomb-type weapon. And you're shooting dolphins. Or are they supposed to be killer whales? They look pretty small for killer whales. And I die. Brilliant. That's really overly pretentious stuff. Come on, die, motherfucker. There we go. That's what I like to see. There we go. And wow. They really go all out with when you die, though. When you die, you don't fucking blow up. The screen shakes, and you know there's an earthquake when you die. That's like puts everything in perspective. So next up we have somebody died. That didn't take long, did it? Anyways, so I'm playing this soldier. So I gotta make it from point A to point B, I guess. Makes sense to me. Okay. And I died. Beautiful. Okay, let's try it again. So anyways, you just move from point A to point B. Avoid the gunfire. Kill everybody. That's a pretty... Looks like shit, to be honest with you, but no, that was simple enough. And more of the same. Not interested. Next game. Good Hand. Good Hand, City Connection. And instead of City Connection, we have... Okay, here's the thing. City Connection, you're supposed to be painting the roads white. And that's how you clear a level. I run into the cat. But you don't paint any roads here, so... How do I know how close I am to winning the game? or clearing the level at least. You know, you're trying to get what I'm trying to say. You're supposed to. You know, you still have the little hearts there. Anyways, should I try again? Yeah, I'll give it a go. Yeah, because you're supposed to paint all the roads from their stock blocky black color to white. But you're not painting the roads here, so you have no clue as to whether you're doing good or you're doing bad. You have no idea what you're supposed to do. Unless they change the gameplay. I kind of doubt it, but unless they change the gameplay so that you're supposed to go from point A to point B, but there's no indication telling me otherwise. The only indication that there is that I died. So we're gonna move on. Anyways, it's the home stretch. We ain't got much left to go. It's another Bomberman. They haven't ripped this game off too often, actually, so I'll give it a pass, but for the most part, it's Bomberman next. It's Galaga. It takes place in a nebula, and you're playing as captured fighters. I'm guessing. Yeah. That's kind of interesting. But, yeah, it's Galaga, except the colors are all screwy. But it is Galaga, no doubt about that. Pretty fun classic arcade shooter. Anyways, I'm just waiting for the... I don't even want to play properly, I just want to wait. So if I... Okay, so it just stays red? That's a bit of a piss off. I don't want to say it's a piss off, but it's a bit of a disappointment. You know, figured, you know, you already have a red fighter. If the Galaga, the boss Galaga captures your red fighter, it turns it white. Yeah, that's what I figured. But anyways, next game, Risker. It is Excite Bike. Not very good at Excite Bike. You know, if you've seen my 32-in-1 overview, or a couple other overviews that I've done that feature Excite Bike, it's not the best game that I'm good at. It's a classic. I'm not going to regard that, and I screw up. Anyways, I will endeavor to play properly. Instead of being on a bike, it's Excite Car or Excite Roadster. It looks like a roadster a bit. It looks like a car. We'll just go with that. I'm going to try to be smart. Because I'm certainly not trying to be a good driver or anything like that. Anyways, seem to be doing not that great actually. That was a nice landing at least. Also got... If I make it third place, I'm happy. Oh, God damn it. I'm actually not doing that badly, actually. And... What?
I read! It's my first ever Excite Bike ever read!
And it's not Excite Bike. Crap. Go with it. Coffee's getting cold. Jesus. So we got another Circus Charlie ripoff. Away. It's the one where I'm supposed to jump on trampolines and stuff. Is it trampolines? I honestly can't tell. And this isn't me sucking, this is me not trying. Though it's probably hard to tell the difference at this point. But yeah, okay, anyways, let's see if I could play this for real. But it should be like springs and not platforms. Yeah. Okay, next game. In the final stretch, Maze Ball. What's Maze Ball? Ah, it's the game that where you drag balls and teleport them to various spots so they fall into the various holes and you get points and stuff. I am not particularly fond of this one, but fuck, whatever. It's something different at least. But yeah, that's basically all you do. You move your green piece and stuff, and you move your little piece around, and they move your piece and stuff. And they teleport from one spot to another. They swap places, so to speak. And not really much to say on this one. If nothing else, it just puts me to... But in any case, you know, not so bad, but it's nothing special. Nothing special. I'm getting bored of this, quite honestly. Alright, move on to the next game. WWFL, which is a wrestling with actual sounds. And since I don't have a manual of any sorts, I have no idea how to play this. In the meantime, you just watch me get my ass kicked. But, anyways. Guy turned green for some reason, I don't know why. And anyways, you could get out of the ring. Oh, I got him. That's nice. That's good to know. Stay outside, please. Oh, crap. Anyways, that's it. That's all. Well, I'm not really gonna comment on it. Don't know much about it, so I can't really... And of course, we have the final level of frickin' Super C. You know, let's play for a bit. I mean, we don't have much games left anyway, so... Yeah, why not? And once again, you start with this red gun, you start with 50 lives. They give you all the chance in the world to beat this game, even with your eyes closed. Yeah. Next game, next game. Anyways, it's Super C. They split this. They use the same game 8 times, and they have you start at each of the 8 levels. What class? Okay, well, that's gone. And alright, next. We only got 2 games left. Presents what? I don't know. Berserker. It's wow. Oh man. Wow.
They butchered the shadow of the ninja. It's not good.
Yeah, Shadow the Ninja looks decidedly less cool. And less difficult because you got infinite life. I mean, seriously, I don't think... Unless, of course, I am getting damaged and I just don't know it. Whatever. I'm not gonna play that long anyways. But, Oh, wait, he takes damage? Oh, are you kidding me, right? Yeah, this is a fun game all around, but, I think you just killed the fun factor by giving yourself extra infinite health. And now you got this game. I don't know what this game is. Racing car push start. And stuff. Honestly, to be honest with you, I don't know the game. I don't recognize the game, so therefore I'm totally in the dark. Anyways. Yeah, why not? Just welcome. Some generic princess looking character going through. Nice. 5 room, and we get to see the same sequence all over again, except with a different colored car. Okay, alright, so, anyways. Boston to New York. Joy. So wait, is this a drag racing game or what? And am I moving or what? Okay, so I guess I'm moving. Now, how do I shift gears? How do I shift gears? How do I shift the gears? Check out the enclosed instruction manual. What enclosed instruction manual? Oh wait, what did I press? Okay, so I got second gear. Okay. So, but seriously, what the fuck do I press? I'm back to normal gear. I'm pressing whatever I can to make sure I could figure out how to shift gears, and you know what? The hell with it. Let's just get to the closing video and be done with it. I'm done.
And that was the Just Plug and Play Pharmaceutical 120-in-1 Plug and Play NES clone thing. And wow, they really well, on the one hand, the games were a lot more interesting than on the Dream Gear Plug and Play 50-in-1 thing, which with its public domain games. But yeah, they really cheated, you know, in trying to fill in 120 games, taking the same game over and over again and just copying it and only giving it different starting levels, you know, like they did with Super C, or what they call the template for Super C anyways. They just copied it 8 times, and each time they starts at the different level of the game, which but and the funny thing about those games is that you can actually pick your stage, which renders the whole thing pointless. But at the very least, you know, to give it some variety, you have a default different weapons. And in some games you have a machine gun, other games you have the spreader, that sort of thing. But the rest of the game is like the multitude of battle cities, sub-cities, whatever you want to call it. And you know, and of course there was the blatant separating of the various track and field events to 8 different games, which is a popular stunt for some of these multi-cart, multi-game peripherals like to do, is take a game with multiple game modes and split them up. Another one's Duck Hunt, for example, which is not here, but I know a couple of multi-carts that do that. Now, for the most part, it's like the Dream Gear. It's a, you know, D-pad's comfortable, the analog stick, you know, kind of is clickable. The only thing is that some games that are platform-based games will take some while to get used to, because the A and B buttons are reversed, and it is A and B and not B and A, but, you know, wrongly labeled. So it does, you know, it does fuck up, particularly with Load Runner, because Load Runner, you know, B is left, A is right, and it fucked up the controls on that count. But yeah, in any case, you know, again, you know, if you could find something like this really cheap, I don't see why not. But overall, it's not something that you know, I would certainly I wouldn't say it's the best value. You know, if you could find it cheap, I don't see why not. You know, it's a good, you know, it's a good novelty item if nothing else. But I'm done with it now, so I'm going to be putting it back in my storage box and bin it later. So anyways, that's it for that. I thank you for your indulgence, because I know it took a long time to get through all 120 games, even when I skipped on some of them because I knew what was coming. But in any case, thanks a lot, and until next time, take care, good night. I'm going to bed now. Actually, I'm going to bin this first, and then I'm going to go to bed. Good night.